Can't say enough about Cole Plecker again. Just when we need him the most, he steps up big time and gives us a good solid start. So he did an outstanding job navigating a very tough lineup today and giving us a chance to win offensively. Dom Smaldino obviously had a huge day for us with 3 homers. That was the majority of our offense today, and that was huge for him to come up big for us. Some big plays defensively. Landon Hairston, I don't want that play to go unnoticed there in I think it was the 7th inning with we had a pop-up drop down the line, and next pitch is a bullet, which maybe gets out of the ballpark or maybe not, but Landon makes a great play. That was huge for him. And Finn Edwards, the way he came in, and that's the best he's thrown all year there in the 8th inning with just velocity and high octane fuel, and got us out of that jam. And then, can never have enough runs. 9th inning was ugly a little bit, but Shave came in and bounced back from Friday and got it done for us. So that was big for him. And end of the day, resilient win by our guys after a tough couple days, and a hot Oklahoma State team that's been playing really well. They came in and played us tough. But on the flip side, we were that close from taking a series again against one of the hotter teams in the country, and it's woulda, coulda, shoulda a little bit on Friday, but that game was there to be won, and it slipped through our fingers, but we're that close to winning that series. And again, we keep saying if there's things we can clean up a little bit, that I like our chances against anybody we play.
What can you say about Dominic Smaldino, his growth that he's had? I feel like there was maybe a month stretch where he didn't have a homer. Feels like he's striking out less. 2 of his homers yesterday came in 0-2 counts. I feel like he's just grown as a hitter overall.
Yeah, I mean, he continues to get better and better, and there's things that he's still not a finished product. I think there's a lot of things he can continue to improve upon, which is scary, because his potential's through the roof when you have that type of leverage in your swing. And the biggest thing today, or the last weekend that I saw, that he was not chasing below the zone a lot, which he got it up in his wheelhouse where he was looking, and it's amazing. You do damage when you get those pitches up in the zone. So was really happy that he had the weekend he did.
Feels like the execution with runners on or as a scoring position was much improved. Was there anything that you said to the team ahead of the game, or was it just them kind of not trying as hard like we were talking about yesterday?
Again, it's a work in progress. That's something that we got to stay on him every single day about, and just continue to coach and teach and try to get them better at those situations. So, a little bit better today. Progress, steps in the right direction.
What have you kind of made of Cole Plecker's makeup as a person, just beyond a pitcher? I know you mentioned a few weeks ago that he's kind of dealt with having to do midweeks and different starts on different days, but he's ultimately responded, and now he's built kind of a consistent stretch in the back half of the person, just kind of his resiliency throughout this year.
Well, I think it's a testament to his character and how he's been raised, and the experiences that he's had in his life. He just continues to rise to the occasion when it's called upon, and he's one of those guys that has learned from the hard times, learned from some failures, learned from some injuries, and instead of tuck-tailing and running the other way, he's learned from and grown from it and gotten better. And when you have negative things happen, they're only negative if you don't learn from them. And I think he's learned a lot from the experiences in his life, and he continues to grow from it. And again, he showed up today and in my mind gave us the best start of the year that we needed.
At this point last year, you didn't have new Contreras. How important is he going to be down the stretch?
Well, I mean, it's important to try to get everybody healthy down the stretch. Matt Polk came out today with the hammy issue again, and that's concerning. And Roley was a little bit hobbled today and didn't play, and there's some things that we have to try to get healthy this week going into Houston, because that's not going to be an easy series for us. We got to go down there and play well.
Coach, you mentioned Edwards and Schaefer's performance today, both stranding runners when they come out of the bullpen. Sean Fitzpatrick also came in a tough situation, stranded 2 runners all 5 inherited runners did not score. What is the confidence boost to this team when Arms can come out of the bullpen in high leverage situations and keep the score the same?
Well, it's something we've had to get better at. That's something that we've been looking for, guys that are able to come out of the pen when we have a little bit of gas in the fire and try to put it out and be that guy that extinguishes the rally, you know, and you know, Fitzy did a good job, and Finn Edwards today did an outstanding job. You know, Fitzy's historically been really good at that already, but you know, having those guys that can come out of the pen and get us out of a jam is big.
How important will the depth, you talked about the injuries, does it kind of show that all the newcomers that you've had this year kind of coming to fruition, especially when you have this type of scenario where you have injuries that have a lot of guys kind of day to day, not sure whether or not they can go?
It's gonna be big, you know, coming down the stretch. Just with, again, we got some hobbled guys right now, and that's you know, you'd like to be full strength going into this time of the season, but I don't know if anybody is. And there's guys that are banged up and dinged up, and we're gonna have to, you know, dig a little deeper in the, you know, in the well and the grit department for some of these guys to battle through this. And you know, we got 3 regular season games left, and it's time to we got to go. We need these guys to give us every ounce that they got right now, and you know, they will. I think they're giving us everything they have, so that's all you can ask for.
Heading into the season, you said that this offense is gonna not be able to rely on power as much as last year's, and now you have 4 guys hitting double-digit homers. How much of a luxury has that been when you still have the type of guys that can give you death by 1,000 paper cuts, like you said before?
I mean, I think it's nice. Obviously, you see what power does. I mean, that's what Okie State lives on, right? It is they put the ball in the seats, and those boys are big and strong, and when they connect, it goes, and there's no getting around it. You're always on edge. Man, you're 1 pitch away from giving up a 3-run homer or 2-run homer, and having to pitch that way is stressful as a coach. And so from the flip side of it, having our offensive players having that kind of years to where there's no easy outs in that lineup, and anyone at any moment can put the ball in the seats, that adds pressure to the opposing team. But again, that's something that I wanted to make sure we didn't have to rely on that in order to be successful. We can hopefully, you know, put together sustained rallies with other things other than the long ball. So at times we've done that this year, and but you know, when everything boils down to it, I think the games that we have multiple homers, our record is far better than the ones that we don't. So sometimes that's just your identity, but again, we're gonna have to have other ways to score other than the long ball.
For as hot as Landon was, teams were bound to start pitching him a little differently, but it still feels like he's responded to maybe getting pitched a little different or taking a different approach. Is there anything more to learn about Landon as a hitter, even when he's not hitting all those home runs?
No, I think the biggest thing about him is continuing to get on base, still having great at bats, still raising pitch counts to the opposing pitchers. And he's getting his hits still. So again, there's home runs come in bunches and come in streaks, and I've tried to reiterate to him, don't try to hit homers. They'll come as a result of just good swings, and he's a smart enough hitter to know that, and of course everybody wants to hit homers, right? That's the ego filler that, hey, I went deep, but at the end of the day, he's at his best when he's taking his hits, taking his doubles, and then hitting his homers by accident. And you know, I've told you from the beginning, Landon's just a very good hitter that happens to hit homers. He's not a home run hitter. He's a very all-around pure hitter that happens to have a lot of homers this year, which is great. But stay within his game, and he's going to be just fine like he's been doing.
You said every game from now on is a playoff game. How do you feel like your team responded to that heading into the final week of the season?
Well, today, 1-0 starting today, and so that was a big win today to get off and rolling, and we gotta try to keep momentum going on Thursday.
What's the message with so much at stake going into the series at Houston to stay within the moment and not let
at this stage of the game, every game is a big game, and that's what you're hoped for. You just play to win that particular game, and let the chips fall where they may. And to me, that's it's got to be the mindset this time of the year anyway. You know, you go out and play one at a time, and you put all your energy and effort level into that one particular game that day, and again, it's playoff baseball starting today. We understand the situation we're in, and we want to continue playing. If we can play playoff baseball right now before we get there, or if we do get there, then it's not going to be any different when we do get there. So we just got to continue to play the way we're capable of playing.
Any more questions? Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.